Okay, part 3 or maybe 4. But I'm going to show you how once I scrape off the thickness pretty much where I need it to be scraped off, I like to use the metal rib for smoothing, and actually I remove a lot of material with the rib as well. This was actually a pretty cool idea I had here for part of this, and then part of it I'm just kind of winging it. The other nice thing about working on the wheel is, with this Leech kick wheel, I can change move it around quite easily, as you can see, and stop it with my foot. One of the reasons almost put a hole in it. One of the reasons I work with it in this state too is because, like I mentioned, the technique that I use for carving, or actually for like sculpting more than carving. If I was carving, carving is a lot easier to do in a leather-like state. Sculpting, it needs to be soft, and at least for the ways that I'm doing it. I'm manipulating the shape, and the downside, as I mentioned before, is that those edges have a tendency to be rough. But I actually like that, because then what I've been doing is with the slip is actually melting the slip, forming the slip into the surface by the way I'm applying it, and then letting it dry just enough, because you can see through it at that point, because it's basically blended in with the clay. And what that's doing is it's giving me a real nice bond between the slip and the clay that which is one of the problems of working with slip. Having a good bond, and then of course expansion rate, and all the other compatibility things that you have to deal with. But like I said before, I mentioned about the drying time. That is kind of a downside, is that I really need to dry these pieces really slowly at least the first couple of days, which is no big deal. So I wait 12 days before I can fire it, or 15 days. Rather than 7 days or 8 days. Part of my goal too is to have it sculpted and very smooth, and where it doesn't even necessarily need to be glazed in parts. I want to do a lot of pieces where it's just natural clay and unglazed slip, because it's not for food. I know this is a jug, but this one I probably will. I'm going to glaze the inside of this. I am, but it's really not intended for food. And like I say, I'm selling it as such. That it's not necessarily for food, and not intended for food. Just decorative. At this point, I'm really not removing a lot of material. I'm just working with the, with the rib anyway. I'm more concerned with getting the surface shape the way I want it. And I plan on going back and doing carving on this piece as I go, after I add different elements to it. So at this point, getting ready to map out my other pieces. Birds are chirping outside. That's about it for this clip. I'll do a little more and then I'll come back and show you what I got going on. Thanks for watching.